So by far, the most requested dish you guys have had has been Peking Duck. And I promise one day we'll walk that mile with you, but we wanted to show you an easier alternative that's probably the next best thing, Jingjiang Rousi, or Peking sauce pork slivers. What we're doing is frying some pork in sweet bean paste, that same sauce that goes with Peking Duck. You eat it with some of the same Peking Duck fixings, leek, cucumber, and here a little cilantro. It's then wrapped in either tofu skins or chunbing, that same pancake that you'd have with Peking Duck. And if you haven't already, be sure to check out our recipe video here for the pancakes. Now to get started with Peking sauce pork slivers, you need some pork. This is 200 grams of lean meat from the loin. To cut into slivers, a good technique is to make a number of horizontal cuts, then slice in the opposite direction against the grain to get slivers. Now to marinate this, we'll need some jiangzhi or ginger juice, so this is as good a time as any to teach you guys how to make this. So what you'll do is grab a couple inch knob of ginger, roughly mince it, and toss it into a mortar. Grind that down for a couple minutes into a rough paste. Remove it and strain out the liquid of the ginger. A quicker method to strain is actually just to toss that pounded paste into a cheesecloth and squeeze, but we were fresh out and there's always a way. So add in a half teaspoon of that ginger juice, a half teaspoon of liaojiu aka Shaoxing wine, and the white of one small egg. Give it a mix, then add in a half teaspoon salt and a teaspoon of cornstarch. Give that a mix, and finally add in a half teaspoon sesame oil. Set that aside for 20 minutes and go wash your hands. As that's marinating, let's prep the rest of the plate. If you're opting for tofu skin wrapping, cut them into sort of taco-sized squares, ideally a bit bigger than this, and give them a quick blanch to get the grassy taste out of the tofu. Also, julienne your cucumber and leek. Julienne the leek by cutting it open and slicing into long strips using only the outside portion. As for the cucumber, cut them in half, degunk them, and slice into slivers. Our veg for the plate is prepped, so let's get the rest of our ducks in a row and make the sauce. The basis of the sauce is tianmianjiang sweet bean paste. Note that this is the stuff that usually goes with Peking duck, not plum sauce. If you can't find this, you can sub with Korean chunza or even hoisin. So to those 2 tablespoons of sweet bean paste, we'll add in a quarter of a teaspoon of that ginger juice, a half a teaspoon of liaojiu, and a teaspoon of dark soy sauce. Give it a mix, and now to fry up the pork. As always, first, long yo. Get that wok piping hot, shut off the heat, add in your oil, and give it a swirl to get a nice nonstick surface. Now putting the flame to medium, add in the pork slivers together with their marinade. It's important that you break apart the pork slivers as they go in, which is why we're starting it on a medium heat. After about 45 seconds, once they're nice and separated, up the heat to high and stir fry as usual. After another 45 seconds or so, the pork should be cooked through, so just take it out. Now in a clean wok, using the tiniest touch of oil over a low flame, add in the sauce. After a quick mix, toss in a tablespoon and a half of sugar and optionally a sprinkle of MSG. We're cooking this for about a minute or two just to dissolve the sugar and get a bit of sheen on the sauce. Now up the heat to medium-high. Toss in your pork, give it a quick mix for about 20 seconds, then out with the pork. After assembling your plate, you got a real easy, tasty, impressive-looking dish that'll please a crowd.
Okay, this is the final plate that we assemble. We have 2 kind of wrappings, the tofu skin and the chunbing we make. How to eat it? Let's grab a bean, of course. And then just choose whatever you like. I like a little bit of pork, not too much. Cilantro, of course. And some cucumber. Personally, not a big fan of leek, but I'll just have a little bit. Oops. Okay, and then you can just wrap it up whatever you want. I like to wrap up like envelope shape. Ta-da! Okay, and there you go.